And that is what we have
Mr.
to
Bhatt, let me just
believe.
stop you there. Ambassador Kanwal Sibal, former Foreign Secretary, is joining us on the program to talk about this. Mr. Sibal, appreciate you taking out the time, sir, and speaking with us. While the situation is tense at the international border, when India conducted those strikes just a couple of days ago, our intention was not to escalate or go up the escalation ladder. It was a response to what happened, sir, in Pahalgam. After that, whatever Pakistan is doing is retaliation. How do you think India is poised at this point in time, considering the fact that in Poonch and Rajouri, innocent civilians have also been targeted?
Look, Pakistan had to react. They had absolutely no choice. If they hadn't, the Pak Army chief would have been in serious trouble. The Pakistani army itself would have got discredited. And the fact that they have such internal instability with the huge confrontation between Imran Khan and his party and the army chief, the political parties would have exploited the situation against the armed forces. So they had to show that they are capable of response, and they tried it. But since there are no terror camps in India, so their targets had to be different. So they chose to attack civilian targets in order to, impose some punishment on India for what India had done, and also try and attack our military infrastructure. They have failed in that regard. We have responded. And now it is up to Pakistan how much they want to escalate this, knowing fully well already that they have failed in their quest to impose costs on India. And India is well prepared. So are they willing, therefore, to go forward and expose their own relative incapacity to defend it themselves and undermine their own armed forces and the role that they think that they play in society as the last guarantors of the integrity and unity and territorial integrity of Pakistan? It's an extremely difficult choice for the Pakistani army chief, since they are the people who really govern the country. Shahbaz Sharif and all are just
Puppets.
political front organizations of the armed forces, especially in this case, since the real political antagonist is Imran Khan. For the Pakistani army chief, who's a bigoted Islamist, it's a very difficult choice. But Pakistan has never acted irrationally. So how irrationally they'll continue to act, we'll see. It's unfortunate because things can stop where they are if Pakistan decides not to escalate. But I think from their point of view, escalation is almost built into the situation. Now I understand that the Saudi foreign minister is going to Pakistan. He may try and give Pakistan some sane counsel. Some others may, because countries, including the United States, traditionally have been very worried that if there is a full-scale military confrontation between India and Pakistan, Pakistan may not survive intact. You remember when the Kargil happened, how far, at that time India was not as strong as it is today.
Absolutely.
How far Clinton went to advise the Pakistanis to step down, because they genuinely feared that in a real military clash between the two countries, Pakistan being the weaker side, may end up by implosion. So I think those considerations will be there. They try and drill some sense. I hope that the Americans, and they can play a very important role in this, and I hope they will, that they actually suspend for the time being or delay the IMF bailout package to Pakistan. That would be a very powerful message to Pakistan, that if they don't desist, they can land up into more serious trouble, especially economic and financial, which can then have other repercussions on the Pakistani society.
So being a formal, diplomat, India has been also trying to galvanize not international support. It's been trying to galvanize international acknowledgement of why these steps are necessary for us to take against Pakistan. And it is an admission which has been made by Pakistani polity and parliamentarians that they have nurtured and they have bred terrorists, right from Imran Khan to Bilawal Bhutto to Pervez Musharraf. And the international community is aware of that. Do you think that has also worked as a way of isolating Pakistan in terms of the soft power or the soft angle that India has been implementing against them?
No, I think there's nothing soft in this. Everybody knows, all the countries know about Pakistan's long-standing involvement in terrorism. After all, the facts are known. It's not simply terrorism directed against India. After all, Osama bin Laden, who was the most wanted Islamist terrorist in the world, where was he found? Ultimately, he was given shelter in Pakistan. Pakistan had a hand in the World Trade Center bombing in New York. Who nurtured the Taliban? Who helped Pakistan, the Taliban take power in Afghanistan, and through what means? It was essentially terrorism on the ground. They also sheltered Zawahiri, who replaced Osama bin Laden. He was also on Pakistani soil. Lashkar-e-Toiba and other organizations have been banned by the UN, have been declared international terrorist organization by the UN, relevant UN Security Council body. So it's not only India directed. Pakistan's fingers are there in regional and global terrorism. So this fact is known. If you look at our joint statements with so many countries, including the Gulf countries, the paras on terrorism are very strong. Even in the G20 final declaration, which India chaired, the paragraph on terrorism is very strong. And it's true also of BRICS and SCO joint statements. So countries, everybody will take a position on terrorism because they know that terrorism is a huge threat. Look at the position that the Gulf countries, Saudi Arabia and UAE, are taking on the Israeli-Hamas conflict. There's no support for Hamas at all, despite these fellows being Arabs. Because at the back of it is the concern even the conservative Gulf monarchies has that terrorism is a huge problem and can be a big problem for their society. They want it to be curbed. But having said, and that's why we've received understanding, no criticism. Even when we took this decision on the Indus Waters Treaty, there's been no criticism, although it's a very emotive issue, the whole business about water sharing, because they understand what is happening. However, and we must be conscious of this fact, no country will openly support us or encourage us to escalate. They will always talk about de-escalation, dialogue, and diplomacy. And at the back of it also is the concern that both countries are nuclear weapon states. It's not that they think India is irresponsible.
Right, sir.
Pakistan is irresponsible. So let's not exaggerate the support that we're getting from other countries. On terrorism, we'll get it, but on escalation, we won't.
So nobody has a crystal ball in front of them, but going by your long experience and your subjective analysis of what Pakistan has done in the past when they've been cornered in a situation like this, how do you think, or how long do you think this escalation or this spat, this altercation with Pakistan is likely to last?
Well, on the one side, we have an opportunity which we've never had before, because we've taken a massive step. Let's not downplay the importance of what we have done. It's almost unimaginable that we will be targeting Muridke and Bahawalpur and what have you, and attack Pakistan proper. And not one attack, but 9 places that we have attacked, and they've been followed by further attacks, taking out the air defense systems in Lahore and elsewhere. Now, who can argue that this is an opportunity we have to once and for all do something which will then degrade Pakistan's military capacity, at least for the foreseeable future. On the other hand, we have to weigh the consequences of that, because Pakistan is not a walkover. It's a highly militarized state. It is well armed. And there can be retaliation by them. There will be retaliation, and it will cause casualties on our side. Other than that, I think we were on the cusp, really, of taking off. We become the 4th largest economy. We have plans for the future. We have a serious investment in peace and stability, because we need that for our economic growth. And what is happening is derailing us from the objectives that we seek to achieve. Let's not doubt that. It puts a lot of pressure on us, political, economic, social, and other things.
Right, sir.
So therefore, we can't allow this to continue. But then the ball is in Pakistan's court. Will they want to desist, or will they want to carry on? Will they force us into an escalatory ladder? I think this is an open question. But I think on balance, it is best if the thing gets de-escalated. We've sent a very powerful message. And next time Pakistan will have to be very careful when it plays with the tool of terrorism against us.
Absolutely. So it's a precedent that India